How close is he to LeBron and KD in that MVP race? Stephen A.
My answer would be, Skip, Kerry, closer than we've given him credit for. He deserves a lot of credit. Yeah. The Los Angeles Clippers are challenging for the #1 seed in the Western Conference. They are 25 games over 500. They have won 8 straight. They've won 11 of their last 13 games. And in case anybody hasn't noticed, it is because of Blake Griffin, who on the year is averaging 24.4 points, 9.6 rebounds, shooting better than 53% from the field, averaging nearly 4 assists a game. This dude has been on another level. And here's the thing that really, really needs to be said about Blake Griffin. And I give Doc Rivers and CP3 just as much credit for this as Blake himself, or at least some of it anyway. You know, he's tougher. He's tougher. And look, Blake Griffin's a relatively sensitive dude. He certainly didn't like what I reported, a few months ago. He needs to get over that because I didn't say it about him. I was just telling him what they were saying about him, meaning other people, the Zach Randolphs of the world and other people in this league.
Well, he kind of said it publicly during a game,
Well, he said it publicly. Well, that's what I reported. He said it publicly during a game. Yeah. There were people in his own locker room that said he needed to toughen up. Chauncey Billups came on national TV on our show and said that, sometimes, he takes a little bit more than he should. Yeah. So Blake Griffin needs to get over that because I know what a talent he is. And the guy right now deserves a whole bunch of credit because what he has done has been nothing short of special. When CP3 was gone for those 18 games, when he hurt his shoulders, the Clippers finished 12-6. Over that span, Blake Griffin averaged 27.5 points on 55% shooting. He elevated the Clippers to another level. He has toughened up. He has answered the critics. He has not been pushed around. And now Doc Rivers is right to bring attention because it's one thing when you just think he's a punk and you want to come at him. Clearly, Blake Griffin could hurt some people if he wanted to. He just knows that they're not worth it. Yep. Now what they're doing is, because his talent is so surreal, now they're engaging in these Bush League tactics because they have no other choice to try and stop this dude. You can't stop him. So what you're trying to do is punk him because the word around the league was that worked in the past. It's not working now. I don't believe it's going to work during the postseason. And I believe that we have to stand up and give this man Blake Griffin credit where credit is due. If you're going to talk about LeBron James and you're going to talk about Kevin Durant, we now officially have to talk about Blake Griffin as a legitimate league MVP candidate, because if the Clippers end up with the #1 seed in the Western Conference, is there any doubt that it's because of Blake Griffin this year? There is no doubt.
Well, I mean, his point guard's pretty good.
No. Chris Paul is not good. Yeah. Chris Paul is great. He's great. Yeah. He's great. And Doc Rivers is great. But both of them would tell you to your face, we ain't here right now if it's not for Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin right now is on another level. Give him credit where credit is due.
But are you ready to really put him in the conversation? As in, this is a 3-way race now?
I'm saying to you that LeBron and Kevin Durant deserve to be where they are, 1-2. But what if Kevin Durant and Oklahoma City continue to well, not more so Oklahoma City than Kevin Durant. Yeah, what if they continue to struggle and Blake Griffin continues to play the way he's playing and the Clippers grab the #1 seed? How am I going to give Kevin Durant's my MVP right now? Remember that? What am I going to do if Blake Griffin and the Clippers get the #1 seed in the West and these numbers continue to be what they are? What am I supposed to do? I can't ignore that. I can't ignore it. Especially when CP3 and Doc Rivers are telling us not to. Because they certainly have told me that. Well, CP3 is like, yo, Stephen A., you see what this boy's doing? Yes, he is.
But clearly, Blake has become their pet project for this season. They are trying to elevate him, not only into conversation, but into performance. And by golly, they're pulling this off. They're starting to be successful. I still can't go any higher than honorable mention for MVP. I cannot put him in the conversation with those two we just spoke of. Not yet. But allow me to say that last night for me was a milestone performance by Blake Griffin, because I will remind you, I watched just about every college game he played for not 1 year, but 2 years at the University of Oklahoma. And I continue to come in here and sit on national TV and say, he just can't. I mean, he can't make a shot outside 3 feet. He can really, really dunk the ball. But when it comes to shooting free throws or jump shots, doesn't have it. All of a sudden, by pure hard work and by positive reinforcement from those two great guys you just mentioned, this man is shooting the basketball. Do you realize he made all 8 of his mid-range jump shots last night? 8 of them? Okay, now was that one of those aberration games, one of those crazy hot?
He's improved his perimeter play. He has
improved it dramatically.
Right.
But is this LeBron making 8 threes in a 61-point game where he just won't do it again for a while? I don't know. I'm starting to see some real, solid, tangible, ongoing progress here, where he's making 70% of his free throws. Now, when we're talking about MVP, we still have to include, especially for a big man, a frontline player, we have to include defense and rebounding and shot blocking. His rebounding's up to 10, so that works for me. Does he play great defense, Stephen A. Smith? I don't think so yet. I don't see it. And again, they were playing a team that doesn't play a lot of defense last night in Phoenix.